Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about my experience with the KTM RC 390, 2017 model. I think we bought it 2017 December, and I'm just gonna share some experience about it. It's been a long time since I've been riding it, so here we go. So, um, well, I don't know where to start, but I'm not going to talk much about the, specs and specifications and things like that. I mean, talk about a bike, there are a lot of things to say, but these things are very basic. You can just Google it and you'd be able to find that out. So I'd be actually talking about my experience, writing this for almost 7 years now. So, I think I'll tell you why I chose this bike in the first place. So I already have a Royal Enfield Bullet. It's a 1986 model cast iron. It's a great bike, and it's really good for touring. I wouldn't say very fast touring, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's a retro bike, in all essence. It's actually a retro bike, right? So yeah, I had that, and I was riding it for a long time, and I wanted to get a sport bike, essentially a super sport. So the place I ride, that's Kerala, India. I think a 400cc bike would be the best bet. A 600 is too much here. I mean, not just here, anywhere. I think 600s are too fast to be ridden anywhere above, I mean, below legal speed limit, even if in Western countries. So a 400 is like the max you can go in any places. So I was actually looking for a fast bike, a very quick bike, and so during that time, I kind of knew a little bit about KTM RC 390 and KTM Duke. And the reason why I took RC 390 is because I already have a standard motorbike, which is a Royal Enfield Bullet. So I thought, like, why not just take a bike that's a bit different, it's a bit too sporty. It's a super sport bike, so yeah, that's the reason why I selected it. Now, the first time I went to the KTM showroom in Ernakulam, I believe it was Whitela. It was I didn't I couldn't get my hands on the RC 390 because it was not there. There was only this Duke 390. So I have test driven that bike, and yeah, I was amazed by its power. That's the first thing I felt. Nothing else. I mean, styling. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm a great fan of this insect-looking bikes, to be really frank. So I even now I really love the look of Royal Enfields more than the KTMs. Not the RC 390. The RC 390 is actually a very good looking bike. I mean, it should look sharp. It's a super sport sort of bike, so that's the reason why I love the look of it. But Duke, not really, not much, to be really frank. I mean, again, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, so I'm not judging anyone if they like Duke. I have so many friends who so many friends who really love the looks of Duke, even more than RC. So I I selected the RC. So the point was, the first time I tried this bike is when I took the bike home. So that experience was horrible because it's a first time riding bike with such a committed precision, right? It's not like riding a CBR 250. It's way more comfortable. But RC390 is such a committed precision, just like a super sport. And it was a bit hard for me at first. I had pain for a couple of days, maybe just maybe a week, but after that it was gone. But then again, I was thrilled by the power of it. I was thrilled by how the bike is moving. Right. The first thing I notice about this RC390 is when you take a turn, like it feels magical. You don't feel like it's a turn. You essentially feel it's a straight line. I don't know how to explain it, but it's actually such a good bike to take really long turns. Not really short turns, but really long turns. It feels amazing. It's very stable. So yeah, that's the reason. And that's my experience taking this bike home, and that's the reason I took this bike, RC390. So anyway, when it comes to the performance, it's too much for a beginner to handle, even if it's a 400cc, because the power comes so fast. You wouldn't really imagine that a 400cc can have this much power. You'd be like, oh my god. You'd feel like you're going backwards. Like you may, if the seat construction is not like that, most probably you'd be down. Not because of anything else, but just the power. It's too quick, and that's what I feel about the performance of this bike. So it's not even about 0 to 100 in about 4.5, 4.6 seconds, 4.4 to 5.5 seconds. It's not just about that. It's about the way it delivers power. It's like quick, boom. So I think that torque is. By the way, torque is not really down there. If you really ride it slow, you would feel that the bike is not really suited for slow riding, because it is actually not. You cannot ride this bike like a Royal Enfield Bullet. My bike, my old bike, not my old bike. Even now I have it. So you cannot really ride it like that, right? If it's a Royal Enfield, you can go in fourth gear, like 20, 15, even less than that. But this bike, if you have to go in third gear, not sixth gear, third gear, you need pretty good speed. I'm not talking much, but about 45. I mean, comfortable. The bike will tell you, this is not my comfortable speed. Rev it a little bit more, or downshift, so that the bike will literally tell you, I'm not comfortable with this speed going at this particular gear, and it will tell you all the time. So unless you're going fast, it's not really a good bike. The point is, it's not a relaxed bike. It's not a cruiser relaxed bike. It's not even like other super sports, where other super sports, in the sense, I'm not talking about the 600 cc's inline fours or anything like that, but bikes that look like this, like TBR 250, and even I'm not comparing R15 or anything to this, but bikes that look like this. It's not like the feeling is much different. You cannot go really slow in this bike, and that's because of the compression, most probably. But anyway, that's the point. But when you rev it, and when it goes sort of like, I think maybe 4,000 plus, 5,000 plus, you get so much, power from this bike that you would automatically kind of, you know, you'll not be twisting it even more. You'll turn it down a little bit, because it's scary. It's scary fast. So yeah, that's a keyword to use. It's scary fast. That's the best keyword I want to give for this type of performance. Not relaxed fast, but scary fast. So that's the performance figures, and I love it. I love it. I love that kind of performance. Even now, after 7 years, even now, twisting it, giving it full throttle, not full throttle, just even half throttle gives me enough tingles. It's. I think there are only a couple of bikes that you can say the same for, because like after maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years, you get to experience a bike's performance, and where how a bike is going to perform. Not the KTM RC 390. It will always gives you a new feeling, like, oh my god, this is so powerful, like that kind of feeling. The other bikes I've ridden, even the R3s, for example, even the Yamaha R3s, the Ninjas, after riding for a long time, you get sort of gel with the bike. This bike has this much power, and you're not afraid to twist it. You can twist it. You can extract every bit of performance from that bike. You don't worry about it. But RC390 is not like that. You would feel really scared, even after 5 or 6 or 7 years. People do have the RC390s will agree with me on this regard. It's not about the power, it's how the power is delivered. That is a difference here. And so maintenance, I want to talk a little bit about maintenance and reliability. And before moving to maintenance and reliability, I want to talk about the comfort, right? So it's not a comfortable bike. I mean, compared to other bikes. Let's say I compare it with Royal Enfield, which I shouldn't, but let's say because I have these two bikes, if I compare it with Royal Enfield, it's not comfortable. It should not be comfortable, actually. It's a race bike for the street, basically. So I think it's not really comfortable. Very committed position, really good for, like I said, taking long turns and being controlled. Like, for example, there's one reason why I tell this bike's not comfortable. The suspension is really hard, especially the front suspension, that you can feel the road. You can literally feel where the patch, where you're going, how is a bike. I mean, the feedback. You can feel it. There are so many bikes where you don't feel anything. Is it bad roads? Is it good roads? You won't feel anything. But this bike gives you that feedback, right? And that's very important in racing. You need that feedback. That's why it gives you that. So yeah, that takes a bit of comfort away from you, but gives you that race feel to it. So there are advantages and disadvantages to this. Then the rear suspension, it's actually I would say that KTM could have done better with the rear suspension. It's not hard enough. That is what I feel. I mean, with KTM bikes, the new bikes might be good. I haven't worn it for a long time or ridden it for a long time, but I think most bikes should have adjustable suspension so that you can adjust it to your liking. Some Sometimes I feel the KTM RC 390's rear suspension is pretty hard, but sometimes I feel it's pretty soft. So, yeah, I feel both. So, not really comfortable. But can you tour in this one? Yes, you can. If you're fit enough, you can. But is it a bike for touring? No. Can you tour in it? Yes, absolutely. Uh, I know people who like to tour in RC390 more than other bikes, in fact. So yeah, it's an attachment to the bike, and it's, some people. Uh, there are people who feel a bike is more comfortable if it can give so much performance, right? I'm kind of a person like that. I feel that if a bike can deliver amazing performance, it somehow becomes comfortable for me. I don't really care about the precision that much, although sometimes I do feel like it's too much of a committed precision, not like the CBR 250. CBR 250 is a good precision, actually. It's committed, but not too over committed. This is really like race bike. So that's the thing. And yeah, rear comfort, well, nothing. I mean, the rear passenger, the pillion rider. By the way, that doesn't mean we cannot go with the pillion rider to, let's say, 120 kilometers or 200 kilometers. It's okay. What I'm saying is it's not really meant for that. It's not like a Royal Enfield in that regard. That is what I'm saying. But it seems like the Duke is actually even more uncomfortable. That's what I've heard about the Duke. And even the RN5, it's even more comfortable than the RC390. So yeah, there you go. So when you buy a super sport, you get something, but at the same time you lose something. That's how it works. And when it comes to fuel economy, it delivers amazing fuel economy. I don't know why, but if you ride it in like 80 kilometers in sixth gear, 80 to 90, it gives you really good fuel economy. I believe it's because of the compression ratio, high compression. But if you rev it, if you rip it apart, I think it will still deliver a good fuel economy. I think 20-25 for an R690 is good, and I think I have you get sort of like close to 30, even more sometimes, if you're not, revving so much. So yeah, there's one experience I would like to tell you. When I bought this bike, I was a bit sad because I couldn't give the beans for some time, because there's a running period, right? So they told me that I shouldn't go beyond 7,500 RPM or something. But with just 4,000 or maybe 5,000 RPM, I could overtake any bike or any car for that matter in these roads. So that's the level of performance this bike offers. Even if you don't take it to the red line, it gives amazing performance. However, like I said, it doesn't like to go slow. So anything, if you're a guy who likes to go at like 30 kilometers in sixth gear, this is not the bike for you. It's really difficult to ride like that in this particular bike. So that's about it, and that's about the performance and maintenance and reliability. Maintenance wise, no work for 7 years. No work. Yeah, that's true. No work. I mean, except for maybe battery changes, tire change. That's not work, in fact. So, but yeah, talking about tires, it's sticky tires, right? Slicks, literally, and it won't stay as long as, let's say, a regular bike. I think I changed before 7,500, 7,000. No, I guess 8,500 or something like that. I mean, front tire, the rear tire. I think later at like 12,000 or something. I don't really remember it. But anyway, the point is you have to change the tire quite often. I mean, new bikes are like that. Powerful bikes are like that. I think even the Interceptor to an extent is like that. So yeah, that's the point. Reliability, very reliable, but not as reliable as a Japanese machine. That's what the statistics show. But for me personally, I didn't feel any problem with reliability. Very good bike. Then one problem though. Yes, one problem. I forgot to tell you that there is a problem. That's the speedometer. Now, the speedometer is actually really not a good unit. The reason why I tell you is because the material that they use to cover the speedometer is just bad quality plastic. It will disintegrate itself after like maybe 2 or 3 years. So you have to buy a new one and keep that in. But if water sweeps in, most probably you will lose your speedometer. I mean, you have to change your speedometer. So that's an issue. That's a very bad speedometer. Now, by the way, I'm talking about the KTM. I already told you, right? 2017. So the new speedometers are different. So I don't really know about that. Not commenting on that one. The new KTMs. So that's maintenance and reliability, and modifications and customizations. No, not even one modification, except for a mobile holder. That's not even a modification, right? So nothing like that. I mean, I would, if I ever do a modification, that'd be on the seat. But the problem with this modification of the seat is it would change the overall look of the bike. So I just don't want to do it. I can make it more comfortable if I want to. And maybe some people use this. What is it? Handle extenders. It will make the bike more comfortable. So there are people who really likes the RC390's power delivery, but they want a more comfortable position. So they change the handlebar. That's a very easy process, and we can do it. I haven't done it. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about one thing. The lights, headlamps. It's one of the best, if not the best in the world. I would say that because I have a Skoda Octavia, Innova Krista, I have a Royal Enfield Bullet. I think I compare this bike with everything, and I think this bike's the throw and the brightness is actually more than even cars. That's what I've felt. It's a projector unit, and maybe that's why, but it's really good. I really like it. And foot position, yeah, it's 40, so I wouldn't comment much about it. Not the most comfortable position, but really good for racing. The bike look amazing. I really like it, like I said. So yeah, no modifications and customizations. Memorable moments, if I want to talk about memorable moments, I would say, yeah, the tours. I have used this as a touring bike. In fact, something that people don't do. I have even, taken this to small off-road patches. But one thing I want to talk about RC390 is it's really bad for off-roads. Actually, it's one of the worst bikes for off-roads. I think all sport bikes are really bad for off-roads because of the rake angle and all that. It's really bad for off-roads. The sticky tires and the slick tires are not at all good for off-road, so don't take it. And I would say a 150cc Yamaha. My friend's bike is a 150cc Yamaha FC. I think it would perform a lot better in off-road conditions compared to my bike. Now, of course, Royal Enfield Bullet would annihilate everything else, but compared to... So the point is a street bike is better for that. Even Duke is not good for that. The power delivery is too much for off-road. And everything else is bad for off-road. I mean, so it's not good for off-road. I've taken it, but it's good, it's bad. Challenges face nothing. About the service, not a big fan of the KTM service. They can do much better. It's a premium bike, isn't it? Like 4 lakhs, close to 4 lakhs now, and I think they're not giving that premium feel. By the way, talk about service. Like I said, we have a Toyota Innova Crista. The service is one of the best. Not one of, it's the best, I would say. Right? Because even Skoda, I mean, nothing comes close. I mean, everyone would say the same thing. So they should learn something from Toyotas in terms of the service. I don't really like it, to be really frank. I wouldn't say it's really bad, but it's not good either. That's the problem. Recommendation. Yeah, so would I recommend KTM RC 390 used bike to someone else? I absolutely would recommend this bike to someone else. I mean, people are running for this bike. This bike is trending now. I mean, it has always been trending. I'm talking about the BS4 2017, 2018 version. People like this old bike even more than the new bike, so I think people really like it. Yeah, so I would absolutely recommend it for anyone, but that person should be a little bit fit in the sense. I mean, you have to sit like in a committed position, so you have a lot of belly or something like that, that won't be comfortable for you. You should love speed and acceleration. If you don't like speed and acceleration, if you get a little bit tense with quick acceleration and performance speed, it's not a bike for you. And you know, if you love handling, this is a very good bike. You can literally go at like 80 plus, of curves. I mean, long sweeps, 80 plus. You wouldn't feel it. That is how good the chassis is, and that is how good the overall package is for this purpose. And I think, yeah, for example, like Royal Enfield 650, right? Interceptor. I love that bike so much. I've test driven it. I might even take a new Interceptor because it's really suited for touring. But even that bike is nothing. It's not even close to KTM RC 390s in terms of performance. You cannot even compare. That bike is a 650cc engine. But it cannot even compare. Like when I test drove the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, I felt that the bike is sort of, it doesn't have that punch to it. It has a linear acceleration. It's a really good linear acceleration. I really like that bike, by the way. But when it comes to performance, it's like nothing. Yeah, that's what I felt. So yes, I will recommend this RT390 for anybody who loves performance. I think even people who want 600s should try this 390. Because I've tried 600s and the feeling is so totally different. The 600 would smoke a 390 for sure. I'm not saying that the 390 would, keep up with the 600 in straight line, but on curves, yeah, like it can actually. So my future plan, well, I may sell this and I may buy an Interceptor 650 or maybe a Triumph. I have a lot of bikes in my mind. I'm a person who usually research a lot before I jump into something. Even before buying an RT390, I have researched a lot. So I have to, research and so the reason why I'm thinking about 650 is because of the 270-degree crank. 270-degree firing order, and it's a good bike for touring. It would definitely be a downgrade when it comes to the power, though. So I will be creating a video on Royal Enfield 650 versus KTM RC 390 soon. A lot of people are confused which one is more powerful, which one is good for touring and all that kind of thing. So high speed performance, like all that, I'll be comparing. But I think this is it, or the video would be too long, in my opinion. So I am. I think I didn't leave anything, right? Did I? I think no. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much. Bye. If you really love this video, it was a long, detailed video, so I know that it's a long video. If you really watched this, if you really loved, a perspective, a person who used it for 70 years, and really liked it, subscribe. Mine's a new channel, so yeah, subscribe. And if you subscribe, I feel like creating more content. So yeah, and of course, like the video. Yeah, bye.